If you want to make crazy amounts of money in crypto, you've got to follow the trend. You've got to follow the money. And I'd say quite logically, one area that's going to gain significant amounts of traction over the next few months and years is going to be gaming. And no, I don't mean traditional gaming. Obviously, that is growing by a rapid pace every year too, but I'm talking specifically about crypto gaming. Even the World Economic Forum posted this not too long ago. Gaming is booming and is expected to keep growing. This chart tells you all you need to know. And it's basically the expectation of how games are going to be growing over the next few years. And just looking at this alone, there's actually only one market that I'd like to put money on that might actually beat gaming, and that's AI. But what I'm trying to do is whenever I build people crypto portfolios or I'm looking to get new coins, I always get a couple of different coins in a couple of different sectors. Very recently, we talked about my top AI coins, and so today, let's talk about some of my top gaming coins. Having said that, if you have not pressed that like button, you are severely missing out, so make sure you get that done. Point number one, I've got to address this really quickly. Whenever you're building a portfolio, you always have to think about your starting sum. Are you starting with $50 or are you starting with $500,000? The reason I say it's important is because the lower in capital I'd be, the more risky I'd go on the investments. An example. If I had a rather large portfolio and I wanted some good diversification into the gaming sector, because we all expect it's still going to grow by about a 50-fold, if I wanted to be on the safe side, I'd go for a platformer where a lot of new and some of the best and most exciting games are being launched. And that's, for example, Avalanche right here. You can see it's up 8%, and I've made a video about AVAX itself just a few days ago because the ecosystem is just very hyped up right now. People are excited about it because it just keeps the suspension there, just keeps the excitement, and people also know that gaming is about to be the next big thing. Having said that, if I was having a $100 bill and I had to put that into crypto and I'd want to go pretty risky, AVAX is not a very risky move. I mean, I still believe it can do a 10x or even more over the run, but it's not going to be your 1000x contender that a lot of other gaming coins could actually do. If we go, for example, to the gaming section right here, a good example is this coin 𝗬𝘗𝘀. One of my friends that bought early actually was able to turn $100,000. I'm not sure if he cashed out, was able to turn that into the value of $100 million-ish. I think slightly less, but you guys get the idea. At the peak, because obviously this was worth 30 times as much before. Then again, that proves my point of I believe 𝗬𝘗𝘀 and cryptos like that will regain a significant amount. And whenever you're scouting how high a crypto can go, I always recommend you to also take a look not only at price and previous performance, but also at market cap and its previous performance, because sometimes, this is very important, this number right here for price will either never get back to the highest number it did before, or not even come close, or can only double, yada, yada, yada. Because then, let's just say at the time, 5 years ago, when it reached a very high level, there were only 1/10 the amount of tokens out there. To relate this back to Bitcoin, so hopefully you understand, there will, in the world forever, at some point, be 21 million Bitcoin that were ever created. But that will only happen in 100 and something years from now. Right now, there are about 19 million, but you gotta think back. Let's say 10 years ago, there were only 10 million. If Bitcoin had the same price now as it had 10 years ago, the market cap would then still be roughly double right now because we'd have double the amount of coins. It's just something interesting for you guys to understand and keep in the back of your head when you're analyzing these cryptos. Then again, if we're talking about 𝗬𝘗𝘀 themselves, team is wonderful. Most people I've met from 𝗬𝘗𝘀 are amazing. And like I just said, some of the early investors are so excited about the team that I also think these guys will be able to do their job properly. It just seems like they're on the right edge. But again, it's already launched. And I do believe if I had to choose, I'd go more for the coins that have not launched. One of the coins I'm heavily looking into right now is Aether Games. I've seen a lot of trailers. I know what these guys are up to in the back end. It's pretty amazing, let me tell you. And once more, I personally think that most amount of money is made by trying to buy into these type of endeavors, but there's something else which I'll show you in a second that can make you tons of money. For right now, it's just something that I think is pretty amazing. And I can sit here talking about studios, talking about the visuals. At the end of the day, that's not the unique part about cryptos anymore. A lot of these guys have a similar game, similar studio, similar product. It's about, are they doing what they aim to achieve? Do they have the right connections? Do they have the right marketing? And do they have capable people? And these guys, as far as my analysis has gone, right? And we have a whole team for that, guys. Because placing investments is not a small thing. It's people's livelihoods. So you think about these, pass the test because they're pretty freaking amazing. So make sure you at least check them out. Just go to the website, check it out, give it a little look. Because once more, these things have not launched, so they're a little bit riskier. Keeping in mind, like I said, yet again, that this sector will only grow. I believe that I just have to keep buying into gaming coins, and there's almost no way to lose as long as you've got the right ones. Now, I'm gonna hit you guys with a curveball and say render. This is a coin that is always on my AI top list. It's because, in theory, it's the basis for both. And I told you just now, if I had to give you an AI list, I'd put this in there. Now that I'm talking about a gaming list, I'll put it here as a contender because basically they're a distributed GPU rendering network built on top of Ethereum. And as you guys know, for gaming, GPUs are rather important. And this is just one of those hybrid coins where if you only want to grab 10 coins, you want a few AI coins, you want a few gaming coins, you want a few fundamental coins, a DeFi coin or whatever, and you just don't have enough space. Luckily, Render, for example, hits both spots. And it's already done pretty amazing this year, but I do believe we will be seeing a $20 render not too long from now. And when I say that, I mean peak bull run vibes, for example. Right now, people look at the $1.6 billion number and think that is insane. But in the reality, it's insane for right now. Probably when we look back in a year or two from now, we're gonna laugh at just how small these cryptos all were. And now, I've got to talk about a coin that I actually am running nodes for. It's one of the projects I'm most excited about, and I've only talked about it on the channel twice. But you want to know something? If you had just taken a look at this crypto when I last talked about it, and you just gave it a couple of dollars, your money would have tenfolded. And that's the crazy part about crypto sometimes. Then again, right now it's still only $127 million worth of market cap. And of course, guys, it might be slightly volatile because it's gained a lot in a very recent period. But just to give you guys a small little rundown, again, a layer 2 on Ethereum. Right now those are still very much exciting. Purpose built to scale NFTs, gaming, and more. Miria's scaling solution, built in partnership with Starkware, again, nice little buzzword yet again, offers instant trade confirmations, zero gas fee when minting and trading NFTs without compromising the security of the assets. Miria's layer 2 developed using Starkware's Stark provider utilizes ZK rollups, but there's actually a significant amount more you can see right here. Miria Studios is a player-focused gaming studio centered around AA quality games, yada, yada, yada. I need not tell you more because otherwise we've been sitting here for a couple of hours. This is one of the coins that I hold. I'm pretty excited about, and they just got some massive exchange listings too. And here's another kicker. Sometimes when I read through what a lot of these projects aim to do, I'm thinking, man, that's actually pretty good. And at the end of the day, in this list here, it's extremely hard to know which one of them is going to get that next wave of attention. I've spoken to so many of these teams. I've invested in the early stages of many of the coins you see right here. Yet, it's gonna take some time to see which of these can really stand the test of time, as a lot of them already gained massive amounts the previous run. And in my opinion, you only wanna buy a couple of coins that did well last run. You want to mostly focus on what's going to do well next run, obviously, because those two things don't necessarily match. For example, a lot of you guys have been telling me to get into big time, but the only thing I keep seeing is right here at the end that it has such a small circulating supply. And again, there could be a very deep and very logical story for it, but that kind of stopped me from going too deep, as the story is not that crazy. It's good. And if people are saying it's amazing, well, it can definitely be, but that's something kind of holding me back. One that I keep talking about as well that I am pretty excited about is 𝗕𝗓, because last run what they did is they had a ton of massive games launch on their platform. And it's not like AVAX where the whole game is built on AVAX or Avalanche. It's more so that they are helping this project launch and get it to the masses, and they're the middlemen that allow people to buy into the early rounds of that project by holding the 𝗕𝗓 token. So by a sort of little wishy-washy little balancing system, the more this token you have, theoretically speaking, the more you might be able to buy into the sale of something that you really want to get into that could return you a 50x or whatever. And that's why I always say I think 𝗕𝗓 as a token will do pretty well as the market spins up, as they'll be launching good projects again, and people will have to buy S fund to be able to fund those projects. If you watch my videos like over the years, you probably know that so many of these I invested in early or have talked about at some point in the past because I bought a ton of it, or because I sold a ton of it, or because I partnered up with them or whatever. But it's kind of funny sometimes when I notice just how many of these projects I've got good relationships with, how many I've seen launch and seen everything do, and that they're basically still around. But I'm gonna be honest and straight with you, just because I like the people doesn't mean I'm gonna put my money there. Or matter of fact, even if I put my money, I won't tell you it's a good choice if that is not the truth. At the end of the day, we're not here to please our friends. We're here to make crazy freaking gains. Now, I will say I'm also starting to, not only getting more and more into gaming, because this used to not be my sector, but I think it's going to pop off so much next run that I'm spending significant amount of time, I should say, analyzing these cryptos. And so expect more game update videos, because I think people will turn $1,000 into like millions, really millions, mostly from the new launches, but hey. And I just spend a lot of my time reading more into what these projects do. And I've noticed one key thing as well. I've been trying to look more and more into these cryptos that have got some sort of mobile aspect. We all know mobile gaming just keeps increasing in popularity. So it's very smart to already kind of lock that in. And just as a last note, I'll say, this list here is so difficult to make because I want to prepare you guys mostly for launches that are not announced yet, that we don't even know about, or projects on Avalanche, for example, that are extremely popular and hyped up, but that you might not be able to buy in early right now for, etc. But I don't think there's any point in talking about a project if you can't ever get in and we don't know the date it's going to launch, etc., etc. It's just flutter. Then again, I would say I'm very excited about coins like 𝗓𝗓, extremely excited. One of the most established projects out there, but then you look at market cap and you think, ooh, it's already $800 million. It's already huge. Can it do a 10x? Sure. But for the most part, I think people are not looking for a 10x. They're looking for the 100x potentials that are just a lot harder to find with projects like Beam, which is proper. I wouldn't necessarily consider that the pinnacle of gaming, but still. 𝗓𝗓, I'd say, is probably the pinnacle of gaming together with avax, but already so valuable. And so I kind of step away from the entire top 100. And I even think if you just go through this list, read a little bit through what they aim to do and just buy 5 of them. Even though I love the guys at BuySwap, it's not the gaming type of token. This is more of a DEX type of token. No, seriously, just read through, for example, what these guys aim to do. And I know, guys, that this is not the most straightforward, hey, here's 5 coins you need to buy, or 5 coins. But that's because I really, from the bottom of my heart, want the best for you and also give you the best research fundamentals. I know for a fact that many people will be able to not only turn 1,000 into 2,000. If that's your goal, just buy any crypto, you'll be fine, in my opinion, right? Not financial advice, but my thoughts. Because I think if you just buy a couple at random, you'll at least double, triple, quadruple your money. If you don't 4x your money, you've done something wrong over the next year. But we're looking for the best of the best. Knowing that this sector, I think, is going to do 1,000x over the next couple of years. I'm going to say within 5 years, it's going to 1,000x. Okay, let's put it as 6.5 years, so we get into the new cycle. 1,000x. It's just about finding the right ones, having the right mindset to attacking them and grabbing them the moment that they do pop up, getting you guys in the right mindset. And as we get closer to the real altcoin season, we really start nitpicking a little bit more. Right now, it's more understanding this sector is something you have to prepare for right now. Yet, perhaps that would be like buying into Launchpad tokens right now, because Launchpad season is a few months away. With other games, it might be understanding, like I said in my previous video today, how to actually buy these cryptos because the sector is going to grow so much. So once more, I'm meeting here mostly to steam you guys ready for the crazy gains that are about to follow, because I do not want you to miss it. And that's about it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video and press that like button. If you really want more, Dusty, just tell me 5 coins and shut up. I can do that. but there's even a chance you won't even know how to buy them. So I'm just trying to give you all the education, all the background knowledge, all my thinking processes, because most of you guys don't pay hundreds of thousands of dollars a year on analysts and might not have the same information that a lot of us have, which is why I'm trying to help you guys out the best I can. Shout out to you guys that comment, by the way, and that send me DMs. Some of you guys have really great suggestions, make me look into coins I would have otherwise never looked at. As I said, one of the coins you guys made me buy was Beam, and it did pretty freaking well. It's up 30% this week, 120% this month. So even I can learn new things, and I just appreciate every single one of you watching. But yeah, that's about it.